Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Relationshots, the place to get practical relationship advice that actually works in your relationship. If you have not already downloaded our free guide to intimacy, you'll see a link in the description area below. This just helps you evaluate 4 areas that are crucial for intimacy and gives you a game plan on how you can increase your connectedness together. So grab that if you haven't already. Now, I know what you're thinking. You clicked on this video simply because of the title, and you really clicked on it so that you could watch for about 10 seconds and go, this is some BS, this stuff doesn't work. Okay, so listen, I fully intend to deliver on the promise made in the title. Yes, this one simple approach can help every couple I've ever talked to in any relationship to increase their connectedness when they're feeling disconnected, because here's the reality. Disconnection happens in every relationship. It's inevitable. We get busy. We let things get in the way of our relationship. We're not intentional. We're not strategic with how and when we have conversations to connect. And when that's the case, we will end up disconnected. So I've seen over and over, whether it's a planner married to somebody spontaneous, whether it's somebody who tends to be passive with somebody who tends to be a little more confrontational, whatever it is, I've seen this one simple approach to your relationship revitalize and completely change the relationship. What I want to talk to you about today, this simple approach, is called the staff meeting. Yes, listen, a once a week staff meeting has been shown to revolutionize many a relationship by helping the right conversations happen at the right time and the wrong conversations not happen at the wrong times in a relationship. So here's what happens to you and I in every relationship. We jump in, we enjoy each other, we decide to commit, get married, and then the business of the relationship takes over and we stop having the kinds of conversations and the types of connection that really help us to enjoy the relationship. So what happens is we even have moments of fun, a date night, and then we go on a date night and we talk about all the stuff that's not fun on the relationship and we ruin the date night. So if couples will just simply apply a once a week staff meeting to the relationship, it will change everything. Let me give you an example of how I saw this recently with a couple. I'm going to make up some names to protect them, but let's say Mike and Kim are married. Mike is spontaneous. He likes to have fun. He doesn't really like to plan. He just likes to enjoy life. Kim is a planner, period. She cannot have fun unless the details and the planning is already taken care of. And this has been a constant point of contention in the relationship, because every time they pause long enough to have a moment together, guess what Kim needs to do? She needs to talk about what we're doing and where we're planning and the budget and the upcoming calendar and everything going on and where we're going to go for Christmas and what we're going to do this summer with the kids. And those conversations wear out Mike, which means, guess what? Mike's avoiding having conversations with her. So this couple could not connect. Kim felt like Mike was avoiding her. Mike felt like all Kim did was question him and bug him and criticize him. And so we implemented the staff meeting and it changed their whole relationship. Here's why. With a once a week staff meeting that it was an agreed upon time, not long, but it was the time they protected. They started at 30 minutes. I think they went up to 45 because it worked for them. But they started 30 minutes, and what they did was they used the staff meeting to do 3 things. Talk about logistics and planning, what was coming up this week, or maybe trips that were coming up that Kim really wanted to talk about and feel secure that they had a plan for. They also talked about the budget, because that was one of the areas of their relationship where they were struggling financially and they needed to have a plan. They need to revisit that plan often. And they also asked for feedback from one another on the areas they were working on in the relationship. Those 3 things were part of their staff meeting. They implemented it doing once a week. And after one staff meeting, this is why I put in the video, 1 week after one staff meeting, they came back the next week feeling more connected, more hopeful for the relationship than they ever had. And here's why. Kim knew every week she now had a designated time where she got to have the conversations that she wanted to have, that she needed to have to feel secure about where the relationship was going. And Mike knew that he could have that conversation once a week. And Kim agreed, if we're having that conversation once a week, guess what? other nights of the week, I made them agree to this, that Kim will not bring up those questions, not bring up the planning, so that they could just enjoy time together connecting. What was happening is even if they would sit down to watch a movie or go out to dinner, Kim would come with all the questions, and in Mike's mind, that ruined the night that they were content. They really just wanted to connect. So Kim agreed to not bring things up on a couple other nights during the week and save them for the staff meeting, unless, of course, a decision had to be made the next day. And what that did was that freed up some of the other nights during the week for them to really enjoy just connecting together. So Mike stopped avoiding Kim because he was enjoying these moments of connection. They did things like play games, play card games. They had a Netflix show that they were binging together, so they would do that once a week. So they had these other moments that were purely for connection, and the staff meeting allowed them to not bring those budget, logistical, parenting, all those conversations into the other moments during the week, and it freed it up. So not only did Kim get what she wanted, but Mike was getting the connection that he wanted, that she also wanted, but she didn't feel good getting into those enjoyable conversations until she felt like everything had been taken care of as far as planning. So this one 30-minute meeting once a week changed up their whole relationship, and I've seen it with couple after couple after couple. I'll give you another example of a couple. One spouse was a bit more confrontational in the sense that they wanted to deal with issues now and get them out of the way. The other spouse was non-confrontational. And what the staff meeting allowed them to do is have a moment once a week where the more non-confrontational person felt more comfortable stepping into a tense conversation because it was designated at a specific time. Now, if you take a non-confrontational person and you expect them to bring up an issue on any given Tuesday night when everything's going well, they're never going to do it. Because why would I ruin a perfectly good Tuesday night to have a difficult conversation when things are going well? For the non-confrontational person, the answer is I won't, never. The person who likes to step into it and deal with stuff is comfortable having that conversation anytime, any day, anywhere. But the non-confrontational person is not going to do it when you have a weekly staff meeting, and part of your staff meeting is let's bring up things that are causing problems in a relationship and let's deal with them. For instance, if a couple has decided that, let's say one of them has asked that the other one watch their tone and not talk demeaning to them, and they say, okay, I'm going to work on that. And the other spouse, they wanted more affection for their spouse. And so these are the two things they are each working on. At the staff meeting once a week, part of your staff meeting is a time to ask for feedback on how am I doing in the area I'm working on. So the one spouse can ask the other, hey, how did I do with being more affectionate this week, and get real-time feedback. The other spouse can ask, how did I do with my tone and not being criticizing and demeaning, and they can get real-time feedback. It's a great way to work on the areas of the relationship, evaluate it, get feedback in it, because guess what? Feedback always feels better when you ask for it than when they just give it to you. So if you don't have a regular place to ask for and talk about those things, the person who is more comfortable dealing with those things is going to bring them up at dinner on Wednesday night and ruin dinner Wednesday night because the other person's like, this is not what I wanted to talk about right now. I just wanted to relax, have some peace, and enjoy the moment. So the staff meeting not only helps the planner and the spontaneous, the staff meeting helps the non-confrontational and the more confrontational person. And I could go on and on and on down the list of the different types of things in the relationship that a staff meeting once a week can help change. And it takes some of the conversations that absolutely have to happen in a relationship, right? There's a business side to relationship. We do have to talk about the mortgage and the budget and parenting and resolving conflict and problem solving. But if we are doing it at specific times, we are now freeing up other moments in the relationship where we can do what we got into the relationship for, which is just enjoy time together connecting. If you decide not to have designated times for certain conversations, those conversations will take over the whole relationship, and you two will find yourself disconnected in your relationship. So if you're feeling disconnected right now, I would implore that you try the staff meeting once a week. If you're not feeling disconnected, I would still encourage you to make that a regular part of your relationship rhythm, because it will protect the other moments that you really want to enjoy in the relationship. So I didn't lie in the title This couple literally after one staff meeting came back a week later and said this has been a game changer, changed everything. For you, maybe it takes a couple weeks, maybe it takes 3 weeks or a month for you to get the hang of what kind of staff meeting works for you. But let me just say this. If one of you doesn't have the capacity to have a long staff meeting, you're not doing yourself any favors by going, we're going to do it for an hour. You know what? Start with 20 minutes. Start with 30 minutes. If the one person has a capacity to go an hour and the other one only has a capacity for 20 minutes, after that 20-minute mark, it's not going to be real effective. So know yourselves well enough to set yourselves up for success. But I think implementing this one simple approach to your relationship can change everything, reignite and rekindle the connection that you really desire in a relationship. I want you to try it, and then I want you to drop a comment and let me know, one, if you already have something like that, or if you've tried it and this has really helped in your relationship. Share some success stories so that others can learn from you. Drop a comment below. If there's anything else we can help you with in your relationship, you'll see all kinds of resources in the description area below. And until next time, I'll see you right back here on Relation Shots.